Hey guys, Anthony Ace Michaels is back from Sleeper Selections and also bestsportspickstoday.com. Make sure you head over to Sleeper Selections now. Check it out. You get a free week. It's worth it, guys. But there are some bumps in the road. Week 2 was pretty rough. Like I said earlier in the season, it's a little bit harder. I did go 4-1 in week 1, but I did go 1-3 on the best bets in week 2. So we're at 5-4. Still got a winning percentage here, up a few bucks. Let's see what we got. Going into these games, I know Pittsburgh had already started. It's 0-0, so it doesn't really matter too much. You can't bet the game. I know some of you guys could get in on these live bets. I like the Steelers a lot, plus the 4.5. It can't be a best bet for me because the game already started, but I do like them a lot. Next is the Texans and the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears minus 2.5. I locked that in at 2.5. I know I say I never bet anything under -3, especially with the Bears because they'll win by 2. But I did lock in the 2.5, and I also like the money line there. It was pretty good at -135. I think the Bears have a little bit more talent. I know they didn't look great, but against the Texans, the Bears actually, for the first time in a long time, are going to be one of my best bets. Next, the Raiders at the Titans. My Raiders are bad. Arizona was my only game I did win, and I could have lost that. But things go crazy, because I had the Browns that lost, and they were up and covering the spread. The Steelers went to +3, and they lost by 3, but I had it at +2, so I gave myself a loss there. And the Bengals were up by 2 touchdowns, and they blew it. So theoretically, it could have been a 4-0. These things do happen. It is the NFL. But let's get back to the game. I do like the Titans here at home, +2. Unbelievable. I don't think the Raiders are going to win this game. I do like the Titans. It's not going to be one of my best bets, but I do like it. The next one up is the Chiefs at the Colts. Chiefs minus 5.5. This is one of those tricky games where the Colts don't score any points. They're going to score this week. The matchup ain't that bad. I know that most of the betting public is going to be on the Chiefs here. Minus 5.5. If you're going to bet it, lock it in now. This is going to probably go to 7. But I will stick with the Chiefs at the 5.5 now, but if you could get the Colts at 7.5, I would do that. Next up, the Bills at the Dolphins, 2 undefeated teams in a division rivalry here. This is going to be something moving forward that is going to be a big division rivalry. The Patriots are kind of off the map a little bit now, so it's going to be these two guys grinding it out. These two teams match up very well. Dolphins came back on my Ravens and shocked the world. It looked good. Is it going to happen again against the Bills? I don't know. But 5.5 at home is just too much for me. I like the Dolphins here, plus the 5.5. I don't think the Bills are the team that everybody thinks they're going to be. In the regular season, yeah. Come playoff time, they still haven't proved to me that they could win that big game. Lions at the Vikings. Another division rivalry here. Lions getting better. Minnesota getting worse. But Minnesota is -6 at home. Makes sense. Lions, I'm still not buying. I know that they had a big win. But in this game here, I think the Vikings minus the 6. Not a game I'm going to touch, but that's what I'm going to stick with. Ravens at the Patriots. Ravens -3 on the road. Patriots are always good at home, guys. But in this game, I am going to go with the Ravens in a bounce-back game. They blew a big lead. They're not going to do it again. I like the Ravens. I'm not going to take them as a best bet, but it is something I'm going to splash in on. Bengals at the Jets. Bengals -6. Joe Burrow and the boys ain't getting any break here. They're trying to do come from behind victories. Jets with an unbelievable comeback victory. It won't happen again. Burrow won't go 0-3. I like the Bengals. I'm going to take them as a best bet here. I'm circling them at -6 and locking it in. There are a few other games here that I like the over, so I'm going to mention that. One of the bets. It's not going to be a best bet for me because the over and unders usually ain't. But I'm going to mention them. And this is one coming up. Eagles at the Commanders. Commanders +6.5. Eagles coming off of a very impressive win. You know, in the NFL, it doesn't happen every week that way. This is a division game. Usually what happens here in a higher percentage is the underdog team pulls off the upset. So I think the Commanders here to win the game. Also, I like the over here. I got it at 47. So that's a game that I'm going to take the Commanders money line and the over. And let's just hope for the best for a bigger payoff. Next game, I scratched out this one. Saints at Panthers. Saints -2.5 on the road. I had the Panthers at first, and then I thought about it, and I looked more at the matchups. The analytics to this game really favors the Saints. I did like the Panthers, but after double looking at this game, really going through it, Saints in a bounce-back game. They held Brady pretty good. There's no reason why they can't hold the Panthers here. Saints -2.5. Jaguars at Chargers. Chargers -7. I like this team as a Super Bowl team along with my Bengals. I think one of those two teams are going to represent the AFC. They stuck with KC. They have the extra rest here on Thursday night. Jaguars not looking too shabby, but Lawrence is not going to be any matchup for Herbert here. I do think that the Chargers are going to get it done offensively and especially defensively here. Chargers -7. I'm locking it in as a best bet. It's pretty ballsy in week 3 to go with a -7, and it's the biggest favorite on the board is only 7. The Vegas bookies and line makers here really know how to set these lines. It's every year that week 3, there's usually no teams in double-digit point spreads for the most part, unless you have one of the worst teams versus the best. But the NFL sets this up perfectly. A lot of division rivalries and things like that to keep them close. Like, for example, if you look at the Chiefs -5.5, they should be more than 5.5. Not 10, but they should be a lot more. So they're going to get a lot of early money, and that's what they want on the Chiefs. So that's one to be scary about. But, yeah, I'm going to stick with, the Chargers here. I just like them. It's hard to go against them with that defense. Rams at the Cardinals. Rams -3.5. All right, this is one that I didn't even have. I must have skipped the game somehow. I know who I like here, but it's not on my sheet with all my little scribbles and pluses and minuses and defenses, and there's D's and O's. But going into this game, Cardinals +3.5. That was a game that they had to win. It was a comeback victory. Yeah, the Rams are not the exact team that won the Super Bowl last year. I like the Cardinals at home plus the 3.5. Falcons at the Seahawks, even. It's really hard to believe. I mean, I know I see the Falcons offense really starting to click, but they're still 0-2. Geno Smith back at home, 12th man, even. Insane. I'm going to circle that one as a best bet. Just convince myself because now that I think about it more and more, the analytics are there. The numbers are there. The offense versus defense is there. I like the Seattle Seahawks a lot. Sorry. I'm looking at this and I see Seahawks and I see Seattle, so I'm trying to say it at the same time. Packers at Buccaneers. Buccaneers undefeated. Packers got the loss, and it's even in Tampa Bay. Another one got me scratching my head. I'm going to go with 5 best bets this week. I'm trying to stick to 3, but this one's too juicy. Brady at home. He knows how to win. Rodgers does win games that don't really matter, and it's hard for him to win the big games. So I it's going to be a competitive game, and don't be surprised if the Packers win here. I just think Brady at home, he owns them. 49ers at Broncos. 49ers on the road, -1.5. I like Jimmy G. I like the 49ers. I like what they're doing. It sucks Trey Lance got hurt. But I did say if he does get hurt, Jimmy G will come in with that huge winning percentage and guide this team deep in the playoffs. That being said, Russell Wilson, he's at home. He's not looking too good. Might take him another week or two. I think Jimmy catches him off guard and steals one. But let's take the money line here at -125 instead of the -1.5. And the last game on the card, that was the Sunday night game. The last game is the Monday night game, Cowboys at Giants. I don't know who's going to win this game. I like the Giants at home. Backup quarterback going on the road, usually not good. Usually a good recipe at home, but not at home coming off a win. It's just one of those weird stats that stands out to me that I have embedded in my head. So I'll take the Giants here, minus the 1.5 or minus the 1, but I won't do the 1. I'll do the -120 or whatever it's going to be. But I do like the over here. It's only 38. I think both of these teams could score a lot of points. It could be done at halftime. So I really like the over here, but I'll sprinkle it in with the Giants as a parlay to end my nightcap. So we got the Bears, the Bengals, the Chargers, the Seahawks, the Bucks. Let's try to go 4-1 here, guys. Let's get back on track, and let's cash in that money. Anthony Ace Michaels signing off for tonight. Let's look at this game. Browns are 7-0, so good thing maybe we didn't get that one in. But I'm signing off today, and make sure you go to sleeperselections.com, get your free week, and always check out bestsportspickstoday.com. The free picks at the top. There's top handicappers giving free picks, guys, and also I'll be out in Vegas October 7th to the 10th. So if you're going to be out there, make sure you leave me a message in the YouTube here. Let me know where you're going to be. I'll see you there. Thanks, guys.